Hello everybody, welcome to week 6 of 60 books in 60 days. Let me just say Mercury is retrograding. Because guess who accidentally deleted all her footage from yesterday? Me! And I read like a whole book yesterday and I had really good footage that I was excited to use. Yesterday I read Mrs. Nash's Ashes and I loved it. So my apologies, but we're completely missing a day for this challenge, for this video. So let's just get right on into the wrap up of Mrs. Nash's Ashes and the rest of our reading vlog. Good morning everybody, it is Tuesday. This book was so dang cute. I'm really glad that this was a very strong book because like I've been saying, I'm just ready for my fall TBR and this is giving summer. Like this is just giving summer. So I was hesitant going into it. It is kind of summery, but honestly it's mainly just the cover. Every few chapters we learn about Mrs. Nash and it goes back to like the 1940s. Everything about this was so good. I ended up tearing up, which I was like not expecting. Our mailmate character kept kind of being a little iffy, like he'd do something where I was like, oh, I don't like that, but then he'd redeem himself and he'd like actually feel bad about it, and I was like, okay, like this is fine. The relationship was just so cute and I loved our female main character. I loved her. She was like a quirky girl without being annoying. I highly recommend if you just want like a quick, easy romance. Like when I said I cried, like I teared up. I wasn't like sobbing. It's not like necessarily sad. There's just like a small like bittersweet moment in there, but overall it was really cute. I love this. I give it a 4 stars. Today's book we are going to be reading The Other Side of Disappearing. I actually got this sent to me, so I'm not really sure what it's about. I'm really just trying to get like my most summary reads off my TBR. I'm on page 248. I literally stopped in the middle of a chapter. I like don't know how I feel about this. I think it's like fun. It's like a good plot. It's an intriguing plot. There's like a lot going on. I just like am not in love with the writing style. I feel bad because this book was like sent to me, so I don't want to sound like not grateful with what's going on. But it's just like not for me. I just don't feel very connected to it. It's like, I like the characters, I like the setting, I like the plot. It's like really interesting. We're following like almost like a mystery, trying to figure out basically like what happened to their mom. I don't know, the writing just feels so disconnected. Like it feels, oh my god, I had a word, choppy. It feels choppy. So I'm not like having a great time with it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not having an awesome time here. It sucks because I do feel intrigued by the storyline and the plot, like I keep saying, but it's just like so hard for me to like get through. I feel like it's taking me so much longer to read. I've been reading this book for like 4 hours already now and I'm only like 200 pages in. Normally I'm reading like at least a page an hour, at least, but more than that. So it's like not usual for me to not be reading as much as I normally am. It is Wednesday. I have some updates. First of all, let's talk about The Other Side of Disappearing. I didn't really enjoy this. I don't really have even any more new updates because again, I thought the plot was really interesting. I like the mixed media. I just felt like it was so complex and the writing was too choppy to like match the complexity. Like, you know, like the writing was just so choppy that it made it like difficult for me to read. I didn't really like this. I feel bad, but it's a 2 stars, like just honestly. Today I will be reading a photo finish. I'm really excited about this. This is the second book in the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver. This is her first series. I'm a little like nervous, not because I don't think I'm gonna like it. The first book in the series I gave it 3.75 stars. I still really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna start this before I go to work, but I am about to leave like in the next like 20-ish minutes anyway, so I'm gonna just get as much as I can read, and I feel like with Elsie Silver's writing I just like fly through it, so I'm excited about this one. I did want to do a little bit of a haul. I did buy books, but let me explain. I am on a book buying ban, but these are on my TBR for September, which I know it's just like the first week of August, but they were on sale and I was like, let me just get them now. They're on my TBR for September because I'm planning on doing a full reading of this series like all at once basically. This is very much a sneak peek into my September TBR. If you're not following me, you might as well subscribe now. You'll be able to see if I end up reading these in September. So this is a little sneak peek, but the 2 books I got are Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash. These are the only 2 books in the Throne of Glass series that I don't own. These are the last 2 books in Throne of Glass series. This one is huge and scary, but they were on sale. This one in particular was like $10 on Amazon. They're normally $20 each, so I had to cop. I just got them. Again, I know I'm on a book buying ban, but I was planning on buying these anyway recently because I do want to read the whole series at once. I did read the first 3 books in the series, including the novella, so technically Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and then Assassin's Blade. I started with Throne of Glass and I wasn't really into the series, right? And I was like, this is okay, and I was planning on just kind of like leisurely reading them throughout the year. I was not planning on doing like a big read all at once because I just wasn't super into it. I thought like, this is fun, this is nice, but but I'm not getting the hype. I'm not like a diehard fan yet. I read Assassin's Blade. I wish I would have started out with Assassin's Blade. I know there's like a lot of like back and forth on which book you should start out with. I wish I would have started with Assassin's Blade because I ended up really connecting to our characters there, our main character in particular, because they're all about her. I really connected to the main character of the series in Assassin's Blade, so I wish I would have read that book first. Because of that, I thought, you know what, I want to do like a big reread all at once and like fully immerse myself into the world. I haven't read any book past Crown of Midnight though, so I am ready. I'm excited. I am excited to just like fully immerse myself into the world, and I feel like the way to do it is by reading them all back to back to back. Little sneak peek for my September TBR that will be coming out September 1st. I only have like 10 minutes before I have to leave for work, so let's read as much as we can of a photo finish, and then I'll see y'all after work. I'm only like 30 pages into a photo finish and I'm really liking it. I definitely think this is like a stronger Elsie Silver book so far, and I love a lot of her books. Like I have multiple 5-star reads from her, you know? It is her second book ever written. The only thing is like the way they initially met, without spoiling anything, our two main characters have already technically met before. The way they initially meet is so cringe. Like I am like actually like, oh my god. But our female main character in this book is Violet Eaton, which if you've read Chestnut Spring, she's the sister in the Chestnut Spring series. So that is fun. It's cool to see her. I didn't even like put two and two together, and then I like read the name Violet Eaton and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm enjoying it, other than the fact that like the way they initially met a year before the book takes place is like really cringing me out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just like, why would it, I don't, and I feel like if they would have met any other way, I might be rooting for them, but right now I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Guys, it's just getting worse. I'm so cringed out. I'm so cringed out. Like he's just a creep. He's a but I just got to the message. If you haven't read this book, you're gonna be like, what are you talking about? And a part of me almost feels like I should like put a spoiler warning and say it. No, I'm gonna do that because I need to warn you guys. Quick spoiler warning. I don't know how much of a spoiler it is because I'm literally 60 pages into the book. But like, quick spoiler warning, skip to this time if you don't want to be spoiled. I'm waiting for you to skip. And characters have like never met in person, but they know each other because they both were part of an online chat forum a year ago. She posts a provocative picture of herself on the internet for thousands of people to see, which like slay, I guess. I'm not judging anyone in real life. Like if you want to do things like that, go ahead. The circumstances in this book of like why she did that is like really sad to me, and it just feels like weird because it's like she just needed money, and I don't know, it's like feeling weird. But then oh, it's so cringe. He sends a message. Oh my god, I can't. He's such a creep. He sends a message and it literally says, I can't even read it out. It's so cringe. I'm looking for someone I can pay to send me exclusive photos like the one you posted or do live videos with. I'll send you $2,000 every 2 weeks and we'll talk 2 to 3 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes. I'll give you directions and you follow them within reason, of course, but I stay completely anonymous. Take your time to think about it. No pressure. Your photo is lovely. I'm gonna actually vomit. I want to like DNF this because oh my god, the writing, it was going so good. I was like so getting butterflies and loving it until we got to this aspect of it. Really, I think I'm gonna read until page 100, and if there's not some sort of explanation, I think I'm gonna DNF it. I've officially made it past page 100. I'm gonna continue, mainly for 2 reasons. One, I love Elsie Silver and I trust her, but I'm really cringed out. Like I cannot stop cringing. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sound like judgmental, but this is just really not for me. Like, I don't like him. It feels like objectifying. I don't like him. And I don't care about what his fucking reasons are. Even he acknowledged, oh, I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? You know, like, I don't like it. I don't like it. But my second reason for continuing is I do really want to finish a book a day. I want to finish a book a day and I want to finish this book. And I want to do it for the challenge. So you're welcome, guys. because of how cringed out I am. I'm so sorry if this whole clip is coming off judgmental. I don't know what, like, I just, like, there's something about how fucking creepy he is. Like, it's not the spice. Like, that's neither here nor there. I don't care about that. This is not even like, oh, it's spicy, so I'm cringed out. It's like, he's so creepy. We have a slight explanation. We have a slight explanation for, like, I can't do relationships, I can't do physical contact, I can't do, and I get it a little more now. Now I feel, like, mean. I feel like a bad person for calling him a creep. But with how he was describing her, I kind of stand by what I said. I did it. What a wild ride that was. It's really late now, and I'm sleepy, and I'm feeling so many mixed emotions. I don't know what I'm gonna rate this book. I don't know what I'm gonna rate this. I really don't. Because it did get better. It did after the reveal of why he was such fucking creep. I was like, okay, I get it now, and it got better. But that wasn't until, like, literally well over halfway. I was feeling just so, like, cringed out for, like, 300 pages of this book. But after, I was like, okay, I like it. And you know what? It started out good. So I'm kind of, like, teetering on the edge of 3 stars. Originally, I was, like, so convinced it was going to be a 2. But I think I'm going to give it a 3 solely for the fact that I really like Elsie Silver. And if it wasn't for a major plot line of this book, I would have ate it up because I loved the writing and I loved the characters, especially like right at the beginning before I found out everything, and then right after like the reveal happened to why the things I didn't like were the way they were. After that happened, I was like, okay, like I'm enjoying this a bit more now. You know, like that song that's like the battle song, it's like do 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 do, and that's how it felt like reading this book. Hi everybody, it is Thursday night. I did start Caught Up today, so this is gonna be my book for the day. The only reason I haven't updated is because I'm literally on page 9. I'm on page 9. Well, I'm gonna be reading again from bed, my favorite place. I love reading from bed. So far, this is a lot more promising than last night's read. I still am like really reeling from a photo finish. This is the 3rd book in the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. I love the first 2 books, and so far this is going good. I've already like been laughing. I've been like getting like the rom-com feels. I like both of our main characters so far. Again, I'm on page 9, but it's looking good. Like, it's looking good for this book, for this couple. I also think this is the shortest book in the Windy City series, which is saying something because it's still nearly 400 pages. I fell asleep. I fell asleep last night. There's no talking around it. I did make it to page like 219. What chapter is this? Chapter 24. I am loving this so far. Like, let me just say that first before I go into like my plan for the rest of the day. This book is so much fun. I feel like so far this is my favorite book in the Windy City series. I love both of our characters, and I've always liked our main characters in the Windy City series. I feel like Liz Tomford is just getting better and better. This is just making me want to read Play Along so bad because I know Play Along, I believe Play Along is about Isaiah, I believe, which is a character in this book. It's our male main character's brother. I'm really liking both the characters and the banter. Oh my god, it's top tier. Not just from them, but from everyone. Like, everyone is saying things that are actually making me sit there and laugh. Like, this is so rom-com-y. I would even say this is more rom-com-y than her other romance. Like I said, there is still like serious topics in here. A lot about like fatherhood and what it means to be a dad and have a dad and things like that, because our main character is a single dad. I'm really liking their romance. I feel like they have a lot of chemistry. Like, I just really am enjoying this book. So far it's going good. Guys, it's Sunday night. And I haven't read 3 books this week. Sunday night. I randomly just got super busy and I had a great time, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't read. Okay, I read a little. I'm lying. I read a tiny little bit. I started one of the books, but at the end of the day, I missed my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday book. Let me just show you the books that we're planning on reading. So I'm already in the middle of The Chase by Elle Kennedy, which I will talk about in just a second. I have to finish this book, I have to start and finish Business or Pleasure, and I have to start and finish Under Lock by Marina Zapata. I just lock in. I think I will be done with these books. Let's see. This will probably take me another like hour and a half, so that'll take us to 9:30. And then I think this is what's gonna be the kicker. The only reason I'm like, yeah, you know what, I can probably get to this tonight is I fear this will probably be a DNF and we're gonna have to add a book to next week's TBR. Do you like see what I mean? To like balance it out, you know? Further into this book. I'm now on page 209, chapter 20. There's like the obvious issues. I do think our male main character, like I said, kind of like over-sexualizes our female main character, but at the same time, I know a lot of people are complaining about it, and I have like some slight complaints, especially like towards the beginning, like I was saying, but as I'm reading on, it just feels like every other Elle Kennedy book, so maybe it's just like more noticeable because of things he's saying. Female main character is suffering slightly from I'm not like other girls syndrome. So that's like definitely a thing. At the end of the day, am I enjoying myself? Yeah, I am. Is it really good? No. Am I having a good time? And that's what's important. I finished The Chase. I finished The Chase by Elle Kennedy. This was cute. It was fun. My thing with this book, I've read other Elle Kennedy books, honestly, recently. This has been the summer of Elle Kennedy for me. I've been reading a lot of Elle Kennedy recently, and something that I've noticed with her work is like a lot of her books, and this is no hate, because I enjoy a lot of her books. In fact, I just gave one of them like a 4.5 stars, you know. But a lot of her books feel like the male gaze. This book feels like it was written out of the male gaze. Not like for the male gaze, but like it feels like the male gaze wrote this book. Does this make sense to anybody who's not chronically online? Probably not. Probably not. It just feels very like almost male focused even though it's a romance book. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. This was cute though. It was fun. Like I don't really have too many complaints other than that. And I was just thinking about like my comments about like how Summer feels very like not like other girls and how Fitz feels very like kind of just like the overly sexual things. And I was thinking like that's how a lot of Elle Kennedy's characters feel. And again, I really like Elle Kennedy's work, so I'm not necessarily hating, I'm just pointing out a common theme that I am seeing. Yeah, I liked it. I give it a 3 stars, but we're done. We got a book done. I'm proud of myself. 5 books down now this week. We are going to start Business or Pleasure, hopefully start and finish this book. That is the goal. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be the first Rachel Lynn Solomon adult book that I've read. I've read most of her YA, and I love her YA books. Like, I love them. Rachel Lynn Solomon, I always say, like, she writes the way I think, and that is like very helpful to me. Like, not only are her characters usually people I really enjoy, but like her dialogue and like the pacing of her books and everything is so fast paced. So I really like Rachel Lynn Solomon for that reason, but I am nervous because sometimes I feel like with authors, it's like their YA books will be a hit and their adult books will be a miss, or like vice versa. I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I don't know what I was on about like, oh, we're gonna fail this week. Like, technically, yeah, the week, but the week was never like the challenge. I just had like the week separated into the vlogs. So I think I just confused myself. So I technically didn't fail because I'm still halfway through this book and I'm still gonna read Under Lock today before I start my vlog for next week. So we still got 7 books. My apologies for confusing you and myself and everyone else, but I am about halfway through Business or Pleasure. This book is really fun. I just think there's like a little too much going on, and it's hard to explain what I mean because plot-wise there's not, but there is, but there's not. It's just like the writing style, you know, it's like a very silly book. I was like laughing and giggling. Brief synopsis without spoiling anything. This basically is about a girl who's a ghostwriter, and she is ghostwriting for this celebrity dude, and they kind of strike up a little business deal. The dude in this, Finn, he's so just adorable. Like, he's just cute and awkward. I like that the guy in this book isn't like all like macho man, like la 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 la. Like, she kind of has the upper hand, and I love that. Like, I just love the dynamic switch. I think it's like really fun. So I have finished Business or Pleasure, and it was good. I ended up giving it a 3.75. Just like never fully felt their romantic connection. They had other connections, but I wanted some of the romance. You know, it's a rom-com, and I did get bits and pieces of it, and there was certainly more than my last update, but it still like just like wasn't something that I think I'm gonna think about. I still really like Rachel and Solomon's writing, and 3.75 is not a bad rating at all. I also started and got like 200 pages into Under Lock. I have been reading for a few hours. I've just been in bed. It's been a lovely, wonderful day, and I was right. I'm not liking this. I'm gonna finish it for sake of the challenge because I don't want to have to pick another book. This is like worse in this aspect than The Chase was, but like I was saying with The Chase, like the book just feels like it's written from the male gaze. Like it feels like it's written for the male gaze and not for the female gaze, which a large portion of the audience that's reading romance books are usually going to be a larger female audience. You know, like that's just what we know based off statistics. Like, not trying to stereotype or anything, it's just the truth. So it's interesting to me when a book is written and it feels like it's written for like a man who is like the stereotypical cis straight man to read and be like, wow, this book rocks. You know, like that's not an issue. It's just interesting when it comes from a romance book. Like I said, still really like The Chase, still like El Kennedy. Like it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like an interesting thing that I'm noticing. And this book like really feels like it. You can tell this is like one of Mariana Zapata's earlier books. I think at least it is, because I don't know, From Luke Off With Love is a 5-star read for me. I love Culty. Like both of those books I think are phenomenal. This is just like lackluster. I don't even feel like it's written very well, which like sorry, because I love Mariana Zapata. I'm just being honest. And I do agree with what Ellen Catherine is saying. I did want to read it to get like my own opinion and because I had like bought the book, but I like totally see everything that her point is saying. You know, like I get her point. I understand. This is just, it's interesting. They've also used the word friggin', F-R-I-G-G-I-N, like 17 times. The guy is just a total jerk and the girl is just a total doormat, and I don't like it. Finished Under Lock. I gave it a 1 star, but for the sake of this challenge and for the sake of getting it off my fiscal TBR, it's there. I was going through Goodreads reviews because I love looking at Goodreads reviews after I finish a book. Like honestly, I don't feel like they influence me because I always rate it before I read the review, but sometimes they do influence me. This one, not so much. I knew it was gonna be a 1 star because I should have DNF'd it. Someone was like, if you hate women, you're gonna love this book. And I was like, no! If you love Under Lock, I'm not insinuating that you hate women. I just got a little giggle from that comment. I don't know, it was just very chauvinistic, which is not what you want from a romance book. I'm sorry this week was a little weird. I would say this like has been an off week. Last week was kind of an off week too. Thank you if you're still following along. Please don't unsubscribe. I feel like I still read a lot and I feel like I'm carrying a lot of shame, and you guys are so amazing. I know I'm gonna get comments that are like, no, you're still doing awesome, which I appreciate. I love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everyone commenting, finding these videos, subscribing because of maybe the series. I appreciate everyone who subscribed before. Like, you guys are awesome. I feel like we have a very, very supportive, nice corner of the internet, and I love that. I love our little corner of the internet because I feel like everyone in my comments are all very cool. So thank you guys for that, and thank you guys for all of your constant support. You guys are the ones who have motivated me to continue on with this series. It has been getting harder, I will say. As the weeks go on, it's getting harder. If you are like a cozy fall winter person like me, you could go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed, or you can just keep sticking along because there is going to be so much fall content. I'm so excited for it. If you like this video, you could go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, you might as well. I mean, you might as well join the family. You obviously like me now. And with that, I will see you guys all on Sunday for our next video. Okay, bye guys. Woo!